Welcome everyone to Americans Talk FPL. I'm your co-host Barat, and I'm joined by Jason.
Hello.
Hey. So this is our first episode. So we just want to talk a little bit about ourselves first before we break into the fantasy. Obviously, we've been kind of doing this for a while now. Yeah. I think since about 2003. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably about 03, back when we could only play on Yahoo. I don't think the official game even existed back then.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think the official game didn't come in probably, I'm not sure when. My guess is around 2008, 2009. But we were playing on Yahoo till about 2012, right?
Yeah, right up until it got discontinued completely.
And then we joined the official game, where we are now. We've had plenty of top placings, plenty of top 500s. Jason, I think you've hit top 200, top 100.
Yeah, somewhere thereabouts.
Yeah. We were trying to find the records, but we weren't able to find it on this week's show. Yeah, just two Americans talking FPL. Anything else? I mean, who do you want to say who you support?
Yeah, I'm Man United. Unfortunately, it's been a rough year, or really rough last half decade.
Yeah.
But brighter times are ahead. Let's get that Bruno Fernandes transfer done.
Yeah, it was interesting times. I'm an Inter fan, but I've always been. It's kind of hard to ignore the Premier League, right? It's a worldwide league, and especially it's the number one league in America. So I've always been a fan of that as well. All right, so let's move on to the games. Talk just a little bit about Gameweek 22, how it went for me. Overall, my team, red arrows all around there. A lot of points left on the bench, Dendonker and Lundstrom. I captained Vardy. Plan was him to have goals after being well rested. Game against Southampton, it seemed everything was going to be good, but no goals for him, and a poor loss from Leicester there. Fortunately, I had a consistent Danny Ings, and then De Bruyne in the midfield helped me out. Dele Alli was another unfortunate week for him. It's been 2 in a row now with Spurs with that loss against Liverpool. He's definitely someone I'm thinking about getting out of my team. So let's move up to your team now, Mr. Green Arrows.
A lot of green arrows going on, so just about to crack the top 200K. Hopefully I'll get there by next week. So overall, my one move going into this week, transferred out Dele Alli, transferred in Richarlison. Obviously that worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, great move.
Yeah. I know you had Sadio Mane in your team. I went with Mohamed Salah. Both have been offering great returns and great expected returns recently.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, especially heading into the next double game week.
Yeah, that's a big talking point there. For later.
Yeah, I also captained Vardy. Obviously, didn't quite get the returns I was hoping for. Yeah, I think Leicester in general, I'm kind of souring on a little bit, especially with their upcoming fixtures after this next match. They're going to turn a little bit south. So
yeah, for sure. I think they're definitely the schedule's not looking good. They're not keeping those clean sheets. We'll see what Vardy can do, what kind of magic he can produce. Let's move on. Just the overall Game 20 Week 22 week recap. The Manchester City teams, they were quite dominant, both United and City. Yeah, big goals. United, Rashford with that double, and then Martial and Greenwood. 4-0 over Norwich, and then City beating Villa 6-1, right? Starting off with a Mahrez brace and followed by a Aguero hat trick. Vintage Aguero right there. And then Gabriel Jesus as well on the score sheet. What do you think about these Manchester teams looking forward?
I like City going forward. As always, rotation's the big risk there. You can guarantee me Mahrez is going to start every match. He'd be in my team, but as such, he's not. Same with Aguero. De Bruyne is obviously in the form of his life right now. I think he's pretty much essential on any team at this point.
Of course, yeah.
Defensively, I'm not in on City at all. They do have Laporte coming back soon, so that may solidify things a bit more, but I'll take a wait-and-see approach to that.
Yeah, agreed. City's been, Laporte's been out, and City's been, they haven't been the same. It's amazing what kind of impact Laporte had on that team. Totally different now.
Yep.
Yeah. And then obviously we talked a little bit, we've all been a little let down on Vardy. 50% of the top 10,000 players had him captain, and he came with the assist. But we weren't expecting more. Yeah, no shots. Tough, rough.
Yeah, so they got Burnley obviously coming up, so I would not advise transferring anyone out yet.
Okay.
But if they don't look good in that match, especially with the tough upcoming fixtures, you might see an exodus that starts to happen.
All right, and then Liverpool, 6 clean sheets for them. Alisson, nice and healthy, great form from Van Dijk and all of them. Any thoughts on these guys?
Yeah, they're still really good, both attacking and defensively. I would invest anywhere you can in Liverpool right now.
For sure. Firmino with that goal in their first half. Overall, it wasn't quite an eventful game. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, it wasn't a vintage performance or anything, but they got the job done.
Yeah, exactly. Spurs looked pretty weak in attack, really. Liverpool definitely held them against very few chances on target.
Yeah, the new manager bounce seems to be gone. Spurs are, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
That's in them going forward, especially defensively. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, Mourinho just didn't help them on the defense. No changes, really. They can't keep clean sheets.
Now, with Kane out, technically guys like Mora and Son are going to be playing further up the pitch, but you just feel the team overall is just weaker with him out.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more strong. Watford, you've been strong on Watford. They had a 3-0 against Bournemouth.
Yeah, they've been hot. I would invest anywhere you can with Watford right now, especially in the attack.
Mm-hmm. So they had goals from Deeney, Decor, and Pereira in that match. Away, too, against Bournemouth. And then, Bournemouth, again, poor form, not performing, no goals.
Yeah, unfortunately, a few weeks back, I transferred in Ramsdale to play keeper, and I'm already looking to get out of him at this point, even with, as you'll see in the next slide, some nice upcoming fixtures.
Right. And last was fantasy news was Aubameyang saw that red. Pretty rough tackle, yeah.
The Arsenal have been in nice form since Arteta took the helm.
Yeah.
But they're linchpin out until February 2nd. It's kind of hard to see where you want to invest. Maybe a Lacazette or a Pepe, but I'm still in more of a wait-and-see approach at this point, especially with all the other big double game week players coming up.
Agreed. I'm not high on Arsenal. I'm more of look from afar, see what's going on. Lacazette, he hasn't really. His whole season's been quiet because of injuries, and there's also rumors of him leaving Arsenal too. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. So let's move on to the schedule. Obviously, one of the big ones here is Everton's on a big run of greens here.
Yeah, big run of greens, great form going into it. I'd invest where you can. Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, defensively as well if you want to, but I go attack first.
Right, yeah. Big ones defense, Digne, Sidibe as well.
Yeah, out of position right there, so that's always a plus.
The attack has been strong. Richarlison's, I think he's playing in a more advanced role with Ancelotti. You agree?
Yeah, it seems that way. At least his expected goals, he's top 5 for midfielders over the past 4 game weeks.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then obviously we're not strong on. We're not. So Bournemouth's got some good fixtures, but you're not strong on them, right?
I consider that fool's gold at this point. I fell for it, got some assets. Now I'm already looking to get out.
All right, and then obviously Liverpool game week 24. something the whole league, everyone knows about, right?
Yeah, double game week obviously for Liverpool. Then if you look after that, they got a whole string of green right there, so they're going to be strong for a while.
Yeah, I definitely agree. All right, let's move on. This is more of just like the slides again. So we saw Rashford get injured this afternoon, right, in the evening match in England.
Yeah, we don't know the severity of the injury yet. It looked like it might have just been a hard knock, so hopefully he's fine for the weekend match. But keep your eye out for news in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, I'm not so sure whether he'll be healthy or not. We'll see what happens with that. I have Martial, you have Rashford. My take is if Rashford's injured, I'll probably be taking out Martial from my squad so I can invest in Liverpool and maybe midfield options as well. I'm also looking at Mahrez too. So those are some things I'm thinking about.
One's out. You don't want either of them. You want the tandem to be playing in real life.
Yeah, I think United, like we saw on their schedule before, they've got some moderately good schedule here, other than that Liverpool, Burnley home, Wolves. It's okay. It's an okay fixture list, but with only one of them, I don't trust them for goals. I think you need both of them for United to really be a threat.
Yeah, I think no matter what, I want to keep Rashford for that Burnley match, assuming he's healthy. Then after that, I might consider something else, but for now, I'm just going to hold on and see what happens. Look at the news.
Yeah. Rashford is something. If I had Rashford, I would probably do the same, because we've seen him with Martial injured, and he was still a beast with the stats.
Yeah, number one forward for expected goals over the past 4 and 6 game weeks by a pretty wide margin. Okay. So as long as he's healthy, you expect his form to continue.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to Aguero in the top 10K here. Just a quick look. Obviously, everyone's big on Vardy, 95.5%. Kevin De Bruyne, the best midfielder in Europe, 93.7%. Any thoughts on it? Would you agree with that? De Bruyne the best?
Yeah, you have to say in current form. It's hard to think of someone who's better than him right now.
Yeah. There's a main thing here I was looking at is Aguero with that hat trick, but he's not really highly owned in the top 10K. So this guy could be a huge differential maker, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I like Aguero, obviously. I still worry about rotation, especially with Champions League matches starting back up in the next few weeks. If you think City, they're already basically out of the title race at this point, so Champions League is going to be their main focus.
Yeah.
So keep your eye on going forward. Also with Aguero, for the price that he commands, there's a lot of good budget forward options right now, whether it be Dini, Ings, Calvert-Lewin, Tammy Abraham, Raul Jimenez. So it might be hard to justify that kind of outlay for me, at least.
Yeah, definitely agreed. But if he's someone like, Champions League is mid-February, so we still got some matches, 3 or 4 matches before then. So someone, if you're looking for a differential and you can form him on his team, definitely think about him. All right. Let's move on to the watch list. All right, anything else you want to add? No, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on to the watch list here. We already talked a little bit. We're not super high on Callum Wilson, but I'm still watching him because of his excellent matches, like fixtures coming up. And it seems like, he is fighting for his spot in the Euros against Danny Ings, and if he doesn't score goals, he's about to lose his spot. Other player I was thinking about was Willian. Looks like he's secured his spot in with Chelsea. He's been starting since game week 15, and Chelsea's got plenty of attacks, 6 goals, 4 assists in the last 4 games. So I think he's got a good price at 7.2.
Yeah, I like Willian. I think with Chelsea, the Mason Mount extravaganza early in the season is probably about over. Pulisic is obviously injured and was kind of out of form before that, so he's kind of fallen off. So Willian's kind of taken over. Chelsea's fixtures are kind of a mixed bag coming up, so I wouldn't say they're bad or good.
Yeah.
That's a guy you want to look at. Going back to Callum Wilson, I'm just off Bournemouth completely right now, so I'm not going anywhere near him.
Okay. And then obviously Mara's big game, 2 goals, 1 assist. He seems to be doing well with the second season with Pep. What do you think so far?
Yeah, he's been really good. Like I said earlier, if he was guaranteed to start, he'd be in my team.
Yeah.
I just really worry about rotation with City, especially in the position that he plays.
Exactly, yeah. Just someone on the watch list for now. I wouldn't be. I'm considering putting him on my squad. It just depends on what happens with United and how I want to play this. And then speaking again of United, Brandon Williams, he's been a good budget defender here. He's had 2 starts, 2 clean sheets. He missed that Arsenal game, but at 4.0, he's a good enabler.
Yeah, it started today in the FA Cup against Wolves. Another clean sheet, another good performance from them.
Yeah.
I do worry that Luke Shaw, he tweaked his hamstring in the warm-ups, so that's why Brandon Williams got the start last time, but he could be back any day now. I think at this point it's still Brandon Williams' spot to lose, but I just keep an eye on that battle going forward.
Okay. And then,
but if you need an enabler, you're not going to find a better one for 4.0.
Exactly, yeah. Best for 4.0, easily. And then Alex McCarthy, Southampton, they've been looking strong on defense. 3 goals in the last 5 games with 2 clean sheets.
Yeah, I'm in on Southampton right now, too. Great form. Got some pretty good fixtures coming up. And I think when I transfer out Ramsdale, I think McCarthy's going to be the guy I bring in.
Yeah, definitely. And he's a nice budget option, too, at 4.3.
Yep.
And then Watford, we've been talking about before. We're pretty big on Watford.
Yeah, Watford, I'm all over right now. They got form. Their fixtures aren't the greatest right now, but I think with the form, they're going to overcome that, especially in the offensive end. So if you're looking for guys to get, my number 1 recommendation is going to be Ismail Assar, the 6.2 price midfielder. Right now, he is, over the last 4 games, he has 1.33 expected goals. That puts him way ahead of the likes of the more owned James Maddison, Jack Grealish, Dele Alli, and just even with Mohamed Salah. So that just shows you the kind of form he's in right now for that kind of budget price.
Yeah, interesting one. I didn't know that.
Yep, and then further up the line you have Troy Deeney. He's obviously on penalty kicks, has been scoring goals. He's also been got high expected assists over the last 4 game weeks, and he's another budget option. Those are 2 great guys. If you want to get on the defense, maybe go with a Craig Cathcart at 4.3. They have a lot of budget options right now, but if the security starts, I'm just not quite sure, especially with guys coming back from injuries soon. So Cathcart would be my number 1 option for a safe pick.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to, we'll end the show with Liverpool and a look at the game week 24.
Yep.
I think both of us are thinking about tripling on this game week.
Yeah, I think for the double game week, you have to triple up on Liverpool right now, just with the form they're in. Agreed,
yeah. I'm kind of, it's whether you should do 2 attack and 1 defense, 2 defense, 1 attack. That's kind of like, what's your thoughts on that?
So I'm still torn on what I want to do. So obviously right now I have Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah on my team. Big question I have is, for my budget, I can either upgrade and get Joe Gomez as a budget defender, or I could go for Roberto Firmino up front for basically a straight swap for either Vardy or Rashford, pending some injury news there. So if you can afford it, I'd probably go with Robertson as the defender, obviously, because his attacking returns have been really nice as well. If you have a really flexible budget, doubling up with Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, I think that's the best possible option you could do. But
you think so, huh? You think Mane and Salah is the best option?
If you can afford it with your budget, yeah. But for me, I would not want to transfer out Kevin De Bruyne to make it happen. It's the only way I can realistically do it, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit worried about having both because Liverpool's a strong attacking options on the bench too. Origi.
You're worried about rotation?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to play conservative. Obviously I have Trent already, and I have Mane. So I'm going to add Allison, because I'm thinking about moving to McCarthy as keeper after. So I'm gonna play conservative, play with the defense. Liverpool keeping 6 clean sheets. They're highly likely to have at least 1 clean sheet in the double week, and then moving on, they've got great fixtures as well. Correct?
Yeah. So you saw in our fixture ticker going forward, they have pure green for the next 6-7 weeks. So if you do triple up, it might be worth your while just to stay in it for those next few weeks, or at least keep the double for sure. You always want to have Trent Alexander-Arnold and then one of Salah or Mane for sure in your team.
Yeah, those are definitely must-have players.
Yeah. One other note on the Joe Gomez budget route. So Joel Matip and Dejan Lovren are both nearing a return from injury. So you might want to keep an eye on that, because that would definitely encourage a possible rotation over this double game week if one of them or both of them gets healthy. So just keep an eye on that. Going on to Roberto Firmino. So for expected goals and expected assists, he's top 5 in both categories for forwards over the last 4 game weeks. Wow. His form has been pretty terrific. So he might be the best option, especially if Rashford is confirmed injured. That'd be an easy swap in.
That's smart, yeah. He might be the best switch for Rashford, guys. That's a good play. That pretty much sums it up. Other than maybe any thoughts on who you're going to captain this week?
Yeah, I'm still noodling that around. I haven't decided for sure, but I'm leaning towards either De Bruyne or Mohamed Salah.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm almost a for sure on De Bruyne. Just because,
that's the safe option.
Yeah, City looks really dominant right now. So if I don't have Aguero on my team, it'll be De Bruyne as my captain this week. Yeah, I'm still kind of thinking. I still have to mess around with Ali. What I want to do with Dele Alli, how I want to play this.
And so he's definitely going out, right?
Yeah, he's definitely going out. Especially they got that new midfielder coming in. We don't know what's gonna happen.
That's true.
All right. So that pretty much wraps it up. Again, this is the weekly podcast. We'll be back next week as well. No social media for us yet. That's probably going to get a Twitter. It's on the works. If you like the video, please subscribe, drop a comment. Anything you want to add, Jason?
Yeah, we're here to get you guys green arrows. Yeah. Green arrows for ourselves as well. So if you like that, subscribe and we'll do it together.
For sure. We're all about the green arrows and first place in local leagues, for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen a green arrow in our mini league for a long time. Just that dash next to my 1.
Yeah, I had it about 2 weeks ago. I was first, right?
Yeah, you had it for a week.
I had it for a week. You've been first since? Wow.
I'm kind of just sitting up there right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. There's still a whole season, half a season left, pretty much.
Yeah, long time, a lot of chips to use still, too.
For sure, I still have all my chips and etc. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care, guys.
All right, bye.